I was in a deep, dark hole of my own creation. In a home with, or a building with no electricity. More than once, I woke up with my face frozen to the yard in the front yard because I got to my house, but I couldn't get in it. But by the power of God and Him opening my eyes and literally having a scales falling off realization, I can now, in small ways, Lord, let me be just a small part of what you're doing. And He gives us so many opportunities every day here. We see miracles in action every day. Hello, my name is John Grawe. I am 51 years old. I am from a little town just outside of Quincy, Illinois, so basically I am local. And I choose to work at Heartland Recovery because God has allowed me to be there. I went through the 18-month program. I graduated on Sunday and joined the staff on Monday. I shuffled papers. I got thrust into the admissions director position, completely freaked out of my mind, thought I was gonna fail, was certain I did fail at one point. As things progressed, I was promoted to assistant director, and I now have the awesome privilege of being the director of the men's recovery program. I had great parents. My brother and I were both adopted, and we were adopted later in our parents' life, and there was always quite a bit of a disconnect. I made decisions. I chose to remove myself from that family dynamic. I can remember to this day my mom asking me to stay at home and spend time with family and her and my dad, and I chose to go another direction. I say it often, nobody took anything from me. The devil didn't do anything to me. I gave it away. I had a decent life. I had a great job, and I gave it away. I got to a point where I would do whatever I needed to do to change my current state of mind. Anything to dumb down, drown out, or completely erase what I was dealing with, regardless of how good or how bad it was. I was a meth addict turned into a full-blown alcoholic. And it took me all the way down to the depths of depravity. I was a completely broken, miserable, useless human being in both the physical sense. I had lied to, stole from, or just flat destroyed every person, every relationship I ever had. I still remember to this day, my brother brought me on a tour of Heartland, and I had talked to my brother 3 times in 6 years since our mother died, and every time it was to borrow money. And somehow or another, my brother was living here, and he had people praying for me when I didn't even know it. And he came and got me and brought me on a tour over here, and I was like, you know, we went through the whole thing. We went to the men's program, talked to the admissions director, and he dropped me off at home. And I said, yeah, Andy, I'll do it. I'm going. And I said, but I need to get a pack of cigarettes and I need to get something to eat. Can I borrow $20? He gave it to me and walked out the door. Now, I was absolutely intending to go get a bottle with that $20. I opened my front door and there stood Linda Humiston, a friend of mine's mom, who had always been there for me, always tried to encourage me to seek the Lord, encouraged me to get off that stuff, and she had no reason to be there because she had washed her hands of me several weeks prior, and she was standing there. At the time I didn't know, but I know now that God sent her to stop me from doing that. She said, where are you going? I said, I'm just going to get something to eat. Don't worry, I'm going to Heartland, everything's fine. She said, you're not going anywhere, you're going with me. And she sat on me while I went through the admissions process, while I was medically detoxed because I was so destroyed physically that I couldn't survive without alcohol. She sat on me while I was medically detoxed, did everything for me. And she was standing there the day I was picked up to come to this program. And I truly believe had she not been there that night, I would not be sitting here today. I checked into Heartland December 15th of 2008. It was stupid cold. I had just been medically detoxed. I was not in good shape still, but I was functional. And I remember I scooped up some corn, and by the time I got it to my mouth, I was shaking so bad there was no corn left. And Donald Counts was sitting there and he said, "You gonna be all right, bro?" And I looked at him and I said, "You know what? I think I am." 3 months into my program, Pastor Charlie was bringing a power bond message. As soon as he said, "Who wants to?" I was at the altar. And I gave my life to the Lord that night with Pastor Charlie. And I didn't know anything about a relationship with Christ. I was raised Catholic. I knew of God. I knew to go to church. I knew to stand up, sit down, kneel. But I didn't know of a relationship with Christ. I learned that here. Without my faith, without the accountability that I have around me, none of this works. I have the awesome privilege of being the director at the men's program, but that's like Pastor Charlie used to say, with a title and a dollar, you can get a cup of coffee. We're a team. We're here to, by the grace and the power of God, help other people avoid where we got to, or in the best cases, avoid them getting there in the first place. I was 37 before I came to the program. I was 37 before I knew the truth. And I remember thinking, before I even came into the program, I remember thinking, I'm reading the handbook and I'm thinking, I'm never gonna have fun again in my life. But here's what I know. I know that every day I can remember what I did the day before. I know that I laugh every single day of my life. Is every day easy? Absolutely not. God will meet you where you are. I know it. I know it to be true because I've experienced it myself. God will meet you where you are and He will give you the strength. But make no mistake, He didn't say it was going to be easy, but it's worth it. By the grace of God, I will be 14 years sober in December of this year. I can tell you this from walking it out, from living it, from several perspectives. None of this works without accountability. The fact of having someone or multiple people in your life that you can just unload to. Because I will carry things around. If I don't have this place to unload, I will carry things around and they will chew a hole in my soul. God did not make this so we would do it by ourselves. He put us in community. He put us in relationship, but you have to be able to unload to someone or it'll chew a hole in your soul. For me, the main things that are keeping people out of recovery are pride and options. Pride goes before the fall. We all, especially as men, we are fixers. We're conditioned from wherever of a bootstrap mentality. Stand up, pull your boots on, and do it. I can tell you one thing, that trying to get out of recovery by your own strength is a failure on its face. It won't happen. You have to get to the end of yourself and pray that God is still there drawing you when you get to that end. Because what we are in sin is we're turning our back on God and saying, I don't need what you're here for. I don't need you. I've got the strength. I can tell you, without question, you don't have the strength. You don't have it. Your true strength comes from giving it up and realizing that you need help. Realizing that the power of Jesus Christ, the eye-opening, chain-breaking power of Jesus Christ is real and it's there for you. One thing I would say, especially to the family of the person going through recovery or trying to angle that person towards recovery, is I would remind them that as much as they think they are helping someone by continually providing for them, and I won't even begin to understand how every family dynamic works. All right, I'm not gonna assume that I know everything, but what I can tell you is what I've witnessed myself. All right, enabling is a horrible, horrible thing, and I understand mom and dad and grandma and Aunt Sally. I mean, I'm here because of a praying grandmother and because Linda Humiston stayed right there and God allowed God to use her to help me. But at some point, you have to stop. You can't continue to put them up in a hotel room. You can't continue to give them money. The last thing in the world an addict needs is money. You have to pray, and you have to be there when that call comes that I need you. I don't need you, not I need your money, not I need new shoes, not I got it. No, I need help and I need you to help me get there. You have to be there, but there's a fine line, and I won't pretend I know where it is every time, but there's a fine line between helping and enabling. And you can cross it very easily, especially when you love. No one's questioning your love. No one's questioning your love for that individual. But you have to understand that it gets to a point where you're enabling it. You're helping them be an addict as opposed to helping them get recovered.